Biggest key takeaway from Midsommar? Don't do drugs in strange places, kids. So this is a spoiler-free review for the movie Midsommar. But before we get started, thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about Midsommar in the comments section below. Do you want to see it? Are you gonna see it? Do you even care? Why are you even watching this video? Speaking of which, if you want to see more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button and be like all the cool kids. Now let's take some drugs and talk about Midsommar. So Midsommar is about Dani. After a family tragedy, she tags along with her boyfriend and his friends to a small secluded village in Sweden. While observing and getting accustomed to the foreign culture, things begin spinning out of control when the members of the village begin displaying cult-like tendencies. Sure, I make these up as I go. That sounds accurate, right? Anyway, Midsommar stars Florence Pugh, Jack Reynor, William Jackson Harper, and Will Poulter. So this movie is written and directed by the same guy that gave us Hereditary, and I don't know about you, but I adored that movie. The music, the acting, the suspense, those prolonged quiet moments. Like that. It was very reminiscent of the movie The Witch, and because they are so similar, I honestly thought that it was written and directed by Ari Aster too. But it's actually this guy. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is if you enjoyed either or both of those movies, I think you'll enjoy this one too. But let's go into the good stuff. This movie is visual perfection. The camera movement, the symmetry, the framing, the colors, it was all gorgeous. There were moments when the camera would remain stagnant for long periods of time, but because the set design was so intricate, every corner of the frame kept your attention. And having a majority of the movie take place in this beautiful green field with these bright colored flowers was brilliant. Everything just popped. Now I would say this movie is much more unsettling than scary. There weren't any real moments where I was actually scared, but I was very uncomfortable, and that works for me. Much like Hereditary, the suspense is built over a long period of time, slowly building up that anxiety in your stomach. Aster seems to have a knack for that, and I really like it. The acting was also done really well. I can tell that Aster spent a lot of time focusing on subtext. More was said with their body language than any line of dialogue, and that is really good filmmaking. Finally, sound was amazing. There was a lot of use of silence or just people doing mundane things. It was almost hypnotic. That paired with the score just really adds to the overall tone and feel of the movie. With that said, let's talk about some of my personal negatives. Pacing. This movie has no business being 2 hours and 27 minutes long. And story. It starts off very strong, but seems to lose it towards the middle and the end for me. This is also how I kind of feel about Hereditary, but I feel like Hereditary had more dynamic characters. Minus the lead, everyone else felt a little one note. I really wasn't as invested or interested in the characters. I was more interested in this culture and this village. And although I do love the cinematography, I did lose interest about halfway through because it is so long and there's not really much going on but the beginning and then the very end. Lastly, there are some major references of drug use in this movie, which now that I think about it may actually be the underlying message, but there's some major references to drug use in this movie, and with that, for me, it kind of distorted my perception of reality, and that just really affected my ability to connect. In the end though, I honestly have to say, I personally enjoyed Hereditary more. I will say though, I do think this is a movie that can be studied, broken down, just for the quality and the elements in there. And I'm sure there's some things that I didn't get, and there's some things that I need to rewatch it to actually understand. But as a first viewing and just processing it as of now, those are my first thoughts. It has some wonderful cinematography, some amazing actors, and then the sound design is top notch. I just wish the story was paced a little bit better and the characters were a bit more dynamic. And for that reason, I give Midsommar 6.5 love potions out of 10. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Next movie review is going to be for the movie Crawl, which I personally am unbelievably excited for. In the meantime, check out some of my other videos here. You know you want to, go on. Do it! And if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. It helps me out a lot more than you think. Then subscribe with a side notification bell. Until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds.